Welcome everyone to the Lakers episode. Not the overreaction like all the other sports analysis like ESPN and Fox Sport. Welcome to Dummies on the Hardwood, who will actually analyze the game properly. I mean, how you guys doing?
I'm good, bro.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. But I'm with you on that boat, Isaac. We got a lot of people in the media talking crap about the Lakers.
Yeah, I was about to say. More importantly, Bobby, how you feel about those that loss though? Oh man. All right. I'm just gonna say right now.
Time out.
All right, Isaac.
We gotta acknowledge something. Lakers, Timberwolves. Just needed to throw that out there.
All right, we'll give you your credit where your credit is due. All right, Isaac, come on now.
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, yeah, I feel I wanted the Lakers to win this series, but if they had gotten past this series, it would have looked bleak for them. First of all,
eventually it would have gotten back.
It would have looked bad.
Flaws would have gotten to them.
But you saw in Game 5 where the Lakers just absolutely got demolished and made Rudy Gobert look like Shaq out there.
That was Game 6.
Lakers only won one game.
Wait, what were of iron, bro? Wait, are you serious?
Okay, Bobby, continue talking. Ignore him.
Lakers only won one game, and
what's 4 + 1? Can you answer me that?
And they made Rudy Gobert look like Shaq out there with like 20-20, and I was like,
the first 5 minutes I saw you guys just came out super flat.
They just came out flat, extremely
and the fact
flat.
that JJ Redick, as much as he's an NBA coach, he's still learning the ropes. But the fact that he walked out in the middle of a presser just because they were asking him about his starters, it's a valid question after your questionable decisions in game 4.
I definitely knew it was all flawed when I saw Rudy Gobert literally put up 20 boards. I literally had to be like, "Are you serious?" And they make Rudy Gobert look like an all-star.
And the problem was, it's like, yeah, I agree. Like, why are you walking out the presser? But also too, it's like, you have Jackson Hayes. You need size. We didn't. They put Dorian Finney-Smith at the 5. I'm not saying
wasn't
he's
LeBron
bad.
playing the 5 too at some point.
LeBron's 40 damn years old. Can we give him a break?
The bottom line is, it's just the Lakers. The Lakers just got exposed for what they needed. They didn't have size. They didn't have a secondary scorer off the bench. They needed a 3-and-D wing. Lakers just had a bunch of things that they need to they need to address in the offseason.
Also,
that's the
too,
bottom line.
Austin Reeves came out flat in the series. And he averaged 16, but on 31% shooting from the field. I mean, that's atrocious. It's not atrocious, but it's like,
yeah, it's not good. But the bottom line is the Lakers. This series wasn't their series, and I mean, as much as I hope that they would have won, I kind of could see this coming. I saw this coming.
I mean, they could have won the series, but eventually it would have caught up with them. Their flaws.
Yeah, because because I know the Warriors won tonight, so if they played the Warriors, I mean,
if the Lakers had played the Warriors, I think the Lakers would have had a chance.
And this is no shade at JJ Redick, but JJ, how long did you play in the NBA? You have a 1 guard, a 2 guard, a 3, a forward, a power forward, and a center. Well, it didn't matter how good or bad they were. You just had a big body out there getting boards, just putting some effort on a bigger body. That way they don't get the offensive rebound.
I mean, look, and I understand, we can sit here and critique it because we don't know what's going on in his mind. Maybe he saw something in Jackson Hayes that we didn't see because Jackson Hayes was getting exposed on the defensive end.
But the bottom line is the Lakers had no size.
Well, yeah, I know
better
that.
to be exposed and try something than just sit him the entire series.
Right. I mean, the Lakers had zero size out there. You needed to put Jackson Hayes out there. As much as they don't want Jackson Hayes out there, you need him.
And Alex Len, he's not the flashiest guy, but he's over 6'10" at least.
You need somebody to crash the boards.
Yeah,
because if you got a player that's if your starting center is Dorian Finney-Smith and he's 6'7", and you got Rudy Gobert who's 7'1", 7'2", who's going to win that matchup every single day? Rudy Gobert,
yeah, and the boards,
and that's what happened. And the Lakers got exposed this series. The bench for the T-Wolves, though, showed up.
We got to give credit where credit's due.
That bench showed up.
So they have 3 quality starters coming off the bench, and DiVincenzo, Reed, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
That's a cheat code. I was going to say, who do you guys find more at fault with the way the Lakers were? Who do you guys find at fault? Bobby, we'll start with you.
I just think the whole thing is just the roster. It's just I mean, you could say JJ Redick. Yeah, JJ Redick hadn't played a role, but it was a minimal. I think he did the best. He did what he could but I just didn't agree with some of the decisions he made, like not playing Jackson Hayes when you needed a big out there. That's where I'm like, okay, JJ, come on. Like, I know you want to stretch out the floor, you want to bring Rudy Gobert out. I get it, but you need size out there. You need to put Jackson Hayes.
And let's be honest, who's a knockdown shooter on the Lakers, Bobby? Like, name me someone. That's a knockdown shooter that will always pretty much hit it, honestly.
Only like probably Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves is probably someone who I could. Well, I gotta be honest. Like I said earlier, he disappeared.
Yeah, but he disappeared. But he's a reliable shooter.
Yeah, I mean that's great in the regular season, but come playoff time, you gotta show up.
Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Was disappointed because Gabe Vincent had his moments, but I was very disappointed with how
we were waiting for Miami Heat Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. You guys forgot. I didn't want to interrupt you, but someone we forgot to talk about was Rui.
Rui showed up.
Yeah, he put up 14.
He showed up.
14 on like
as much as Rui gets a lot of flack for his defense, he tries out there.
Yeah, he does.
Tries out there and he's putting up his points.
I just think this series came down to just some bad decisions from JJ Redick, and also to the poorly constructed the roster. You just could not hide the fact that our roster just needed more depth.
Mark Williams was having a field day. Did you guys see his tweet?
I mean, if you really think about it, if you're the Lakers organization, you rescinded that trade for a reason. Since they didn't trade their first-round pick, they have more picks to trade next offseason. Which is very smart, because a name that you guys have been interested in is Walker Kessler, who's a very underrated center.
Yeah.
Very, very underrated. And he has size. And as much as Danny Ainge is a pain, he wants picks. And you guys have some young players and some picks, but you guys just need more shooting off the bench, and you guys just need youth.
Yeah, the Lakers. Yeah, I agree. They definitely need someone who's going to give them the extra punch. Because, like, let's keep it real. Like with D'Angelo Russell, yes, we bagged him. Yes, he was inconsistent at times. But guess what? At least he was reliable.
He wasn't afraid to shoot the shot.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid. He was reliable. So that's the one thing where I will say where the Lakers could have done better. Now, the trade for Dorian Finney-Smith in the offseason, I thought that was a good move.
During December, that was the best. It was in December.
December, whatever. What am I thinking about?
You are probably banned from talking anything Lakers. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, the trade for
next
Dorian.
Thing you're gonna say is Luka got traded last year?
I think the best move that the Lakers made was obviously getting Luka Dončić, but another underrated move was getting Dorian Finney-Smith.
By the way, all those analysts saying Luka got exposed, where have you guys been since last year? How do you think Dallas got to the finals? Derek Lively covered him. Daniel Gafford covered him. Don't be expecting him to play all kinds of defense. He's carrying the offensive load, and you barely realize that he needs a big. You guys didn't say that those past 20 games. They went 18-2.
Yeah,
they were the first
they went like
defense.
6. It was.
But apparently, once you lose in the playoffs, after he went to the finals, when he had a properly constructed roster, nothing against the Lakers front office, you decide to turn cheek. Oh, I was wrong. Luka's overrated. The trade already failed. It hasn't even been a year.
Yeah,
you don't have the proper roster yet. And how do you evaluate Luka? Yes, he didn't play until what? March? He was out. He was out. He wasn't conditioned. So are you just gonna ignore that? Just be like, oh, he's overrated after less than a year of the trade. Anthony Davis got hurt the first game, and yet you did not hear a peep about Dallas.
Everything was quiet. Yep, everything was quiet.
But since he's in a bigger market in LA, and all the media analysts go, oh, God, I don't want to look wrong. Maybe I should take it back. I was only picking them because of this. I was only picking them because of this. Luka did this last year. Look at the roster. They did it on the fly. And it was very impressive. Along with the rookie head coach. You guys did really, really good.
Yeah,
if you evaluate everything as a picture.
That's what I'm saying.
That is a great season.
The Lakers had a great season. You trade for Luka. You get
still hurts.
You trade for Luka, you trade for Dorian Finney-Smith. Now now it's like, okay, now you got some pieces you can build around him. And honestly, if they won the chip, that would have been great, but I realistically didn't see them winning the chip.
They weren't going to win the chip.
They weren't. But this season is a win. A 50 win season
for a rookie head coach for JJ Redick. I'll give him his flowers. Yes,
and if they could just correct and get a solid center, 3-and-D wing, and a solid sixth man off the bench, I think the Lakers are a really good team.
You guys need a second guard too. As much as Gabe Vincent, he's more of a scoring score punch.
I think Gabe Vincent is going to be traded in the offseason because at this point, the Lakers got to start exploring some trade options out there.
Well, let's look into this at their cap space. LeBron James has a player option for about $52 million. Word has it, he's not going to take a pay cut. What happened to taking a pay cut this offseason? You decide because
Man, gotta get
you
his
don't.
money, bro. You gotta get his money.
Yeah, but if you want to win another
We
title
know he
and you're
ain't
saying you're
serious. We know he ain't
disappointed,
serious.
but you want to get your money, and yet you and Luka are going to be taking up almost pretty much 50% of the cap space, but you want to win a championship, that's no GOAT status in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Want
I
his
mean,
money.
let me go. You got Luka under contract. You got Rui. Dorian Finney-Smith has a player option. Maybe you guys can re-sign him at a cheaper rate.
He's gonna resign.
Austin Reeves, he's looking like a good trade piece. Maxi Kleber, you guys got to get rid of him.
Wait. Are you
we
talking
are
about
not trading Austin Reeves.
Is Austin Reeves a trade piece?
Yes.
What?
He's not gonna happen,
Bro, why? Why would you trade Austin
You
Reeves?
even said it. Okay, great. You guys have a lot of offense. You guys need more defense. You guys
he
need
can hold his
more
own defensively, bro. I'm not a
I
Laker
know.
fan.
Yeah, but do you want Austin Reeves this past postseason again?
I mean, well,
Do you want him? Do you want him this past postseason taking those shots where the Timberwolves were literally leaving him open because his shot was not falling? He could not hit an open. He could not hit the ocean if he was in it.
wow, that's pretty harsh.
He could not. He couldn't even drive.
Well, look, like not right now. You ask me right now with Reeves, like I wouldn't trade him right now, but maybe in the future, like you gotta see how this goes, man. But look, here's the thing: like we all know, Giannis is gonna be available in the offseason. Guys, let's just keep it real. He's gonna be available. What do you think the Lakers are gonna want to do? They're probably gonna want to get Giannis if he becomes available from the Bucks. So at this point, yes, I can see your logic. Bring it on. Yeah, we want Austin Reeves. We definitely want Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent some picks. You know it's going to happen. You know, that's what I'm saying. Giannis to LA, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't shut the door on that. You know?
No, I don't think that. I think they need a smaller move. I would probably trade Reeves for a Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I mean,
Bigger size, can defend, and can shoot. At least I remember what moves happened this offseason, Benny, so relax. Relax your roll.
I think if the Lakers could somehow get Cam Johnson,
You guys need to trade Vanderbilt because he's just warming benches.
Gabe Vincent, Vanderbilt.
I just think the Lakers, if they can trade for Cam Johnson, I think that'll put them slightly over.
Slightly.
I don't know about slightly. I don't know.
Slightly.
I don't know.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson's a bigger body and can defend.
Yeah.
And he's on a reasonable contract.
That's what I'm saying. They need Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
The Lakers
Yep.
need Cam Johnson. That's why if I'm the Lakers, I'm gonna call up the Nets.
It's a fire sale happening. Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson.
You guys need to get Nick Claxton because he is the most underrated center in the NBA.
Agreed.
Nick Claxton.
He can
yes,
defend
I
the
agree.
inside. He can defend the perimeter.
Yeah.
That is scary. He just needs to work on his free throws.
Because if you just look at Brooklyn, everything's a fire sale. Cam Thomas is probably going to be available. Cam Johnson.
think so.
And that's why I think
Yeah,
the
he
Lakers
is.
most
Oh, yeah.
likely will trade Rui, Gabe, and possibly Vando.
So Isaac, going back to what we were talking about earlier, so Bobby says more of management, construction, stuff like that. So how do you feel? What was the main thing with the Lakers that you think?
I think it was just a rookie head coach and management. Like,
yeah,
they did really good for doing a trade on the fly. It's just they were a flawed roster and they didn't have much to share with. They couldn't get any free agents to sign, but I think they will. But who knows? Supposedly, no one wants to play with Luka. I don't believe that at all. But if LeBron can take a pay cut because he looked like he was aging out there when he was playing, he just needs to.
Yeah, he can't recover as fast from those injuries anymore.
yeah, you got a sprained MCL.
Yeah, man. And see, and think about it. Like, if you really think about it, now that you hear that LeBron James sprained MCL, going forward, the Lakers would have been screwed. If they played the Warriors, they would not last against the Warriors, you know? Yes, I think, in my opinion, what happened with the Lakers is, yes, I think JJ Redick could have used his options better. You know what I mean? Like, you need a center. You needed to use some size to help you. And it's sad because he made it clear before the game started that Jackson Hayes is not getting any minutes, which was like, dude, what was the objective of that? I don't know. Like, I think the Lakers, yes, maybe, honestly, if you need anything, like, they just need a center.
I mean,
That's all they need.
If you guys can have possibly Dorian Finney-Smith opt out, LeBron James opt out, both take about $10 million, $15 million less. You guys could have access to the mid-level exception. You guys could go after like a Brook Lopez, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. I heard Naz Reid is opting out. There's pieces that you guys can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the Lakers get a center, my thing is, like, they're fine as is. If they just get a center, I think it's game over for the West, you know?
I'm still confident.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
I'm confident with my Lakers. You know, I think they're gonna make.
Did you say they're good in the Wild Wild West?
I would say they're good, man. But you know, they make
a couple moves. They get a center. They get a center in 3-and-D. They're good.
If they get a center, bro, they're gonna be good.
As John Morant said, I'm fine out west.
We don't need to talk about Ja.
I'm fine out west.
Talk about Ja. But what's the Lakers' ceiling? Are they a championship contender if they move if they play their cards right?
Yeah, 100%. I think so.
You said championship contender?
Yes.
I think so.
I say Western Conference championship
Whoa.
contender.
I think they're championship contender.
Whoa. Where do you get off with the goal to say this when you can't even remember what season? What?
Wait,
who in the hell is better than the Lakers if they make the proper move?
I agree. No, I agree. Houston, duh.
You think Houston's better than the Lakers?
Hey, well, obviously
you think Houston is better than the Lakers?
They don't have a superstar. We've been over this.
The Warriors just beat them.
I know, and the Wolves just beat the Lakers.
Hey, the Wolves have Ant-Man. Don't disrespect them like that.
Okay, and the Wolves.
What do you mean, Ant?
you really think the Lakers are Western Conference?
Yeah, as of right
champions?
now.
That's it.
Right now, yeah.
Tell me who the hell on Houston is gonna lock down Luka?
Bro, I'm telling you, they just need to
Tell me who's gonna lock him down. Who's gonna score? Who's the clutch player of the year on that team?
Okay,
Tell me.
Okay, yeah, you guys are worried about that, bro. But
No,
Why?
answer the question.
What I just said.
Who's gonna take the last shot if Houston needs it?
Well, I put my trust right now. If you give not Jalen Green, Amen Thompson.
Oh my!
Come on, man. Come on. I'll let you shoot.
He doesn't even have a jump shot that's consistent.
Shoot
for like
30%. That's cool, bro.
Hold up. Listen to me. If you give him some time, the playoffs is over, guys. Keep it real. The playoffs is already over. It's done.
How many shot attempts does he take out of
for
6?
the Rockets
Bennie?
and for the Lakers?
Bennie,
it's done.
why do you have
Why
the
are you in
Lakers
love with the
Western
Rockets?
champion contenders? Why? Why do you only have the Lakers as Western Conference champs? Why?
Because as I've said many times, like I always keep repeating, I feel like I'm going to repeat myself again. There's not that oomph. They don't play consistent enough.
Who else on West?
Well, okay, tell me this. Who's been consistent? No.
Okay, let him talk. Let him get his feelings out.
No, let me get my point
List
across.
the damn teams that are better.
Just tell me. Just tell me the teams. You can't even tell me the teams.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
Tell me the teams. I'm listening. Tell me the teams.
We're both listening.
Guys, listen. Rockets, like I said.
Wait, get it. You think the Rockets are better? Pick someone else for the love of God.
Thunder? Rockets? Thunder?
Who has Thunder beaten?
Denver?
They have never beaten Denver.
What are you talking about?
Never ever in the playoffs.
I'm talking about who can beat the Lakers.
No, I'm saying teams better than the Lakers that you think.
Rockets, Thunder,
Rockets, Thunder,
Nuggets.
God damn, who
Nuggets?
What are you?
Wolves? Obviously,
What
the
are you
Wolves.
on, man? What the fuck you on?
I'm on this shit right now. What do you think about, bro?
Rockets better than the Lakers?
Hey, well,
Thunder better than the Lakers?
Who was consistent all year?
Come on, man.
Who was consistent
Who was consistent all year? Answer the
man.
question. Who's consistent all year? Who's been consistent all year?
Are we talking about the Lakers?
Or we're talking about Lakers or Rockets? Who's been consistent? Answer the question.
Lakers.
What the fuck?
May I remind you that the Rockets went on like a 12-game skid where they just fell to like the 7th or 6th seed.
Okay, but who finished higher?
The Rockets.
Duh. Okay, so that's why.
You're not answering the question.
Yeah, I just did.
How are they better though?
How?
They're one piece away from getting better.
How?
They're like 3 or 4 pieces away.
3-4 pieces.
Who is the superstar?
First of all, they don't even have
Because you're putting
a number
them on
one.
Peter.
They don't even have a number one option. Who's the number one
They
option?
can make a move and get number one option.
Who is the number one option?
You guys are acting like this.
Right now, who's the number one option that you're saying the...
It's a player by committee, bro. It's a player by committee.
This committee is full of idiots.
Man, look, all I'm saying is the Rockets are one move away. That's all I'm saying.
And they're better than and they're better than the Lakers. They're better than the Lakers.
I
don't know what you
Say
want,
Oh,
the move right now. Who do you think's better?
They move. They get Giannis. It's game over.
Hell
That's not gonna happen.
Yes, it is.
That's not gonna
yes,
happen.
it is.
You're gonna have free throw liabilities everywhere.
Okay, and
What?
And you still want Giannis on your team.
You don't give Şengün the paint to room to operate in the paint.
That'll be more clogged than a 99-cent store when they open.
It's like what in your.
I'm just saying, they're just one move away. If they get a superstar, if they get KD too, shit.
my
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
No.
I'm sold on this Rockets team. I don't care what you guys
We
think.
can tell.
I can tell.
We can tell.
I can tell.
We can tell. One season, they're back in the playoffs. Second seed.
All right, you guys will be
Ooh.
laughing at me now, but when the Rockets
I'm not-
finish first in the
We're
West,
not
I'm
laughing.
not
Next
laughing
year, I'm
at you.
gonna say
I'm not
something.
laughing at you. I'm just
Yeah, you
trying to
guys-
understand
Okay.
your logic.
Yeah, you
Coming
guys-
from
help me
this guy
understand your
who
logic.
said the Suns were going to be top 3 and they missed the playoffs.
I said what I said.
Bro, you sound like Charles Barkley. Jesus.
I said what I said.
Houston better than the Lakers?
Yeah, I believe it.
Come on, man.
Hey, the Lakers have been in the news, and what are they doing? Nothing, bro.
What do you mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're in the news for all the wrong reasons. That's why all
Wrong
got the tabloids
reasons?
are out, man.
What wrong reasons?
You just heard. I'm not. Look, I'm not saying like I said. Everybody talking about the Luka. Look, the Lakers don't need to be in that business with the trade. The trade's over and done. But the media want to mess with that. Whatever. All I'm saying is like I'm taking Houston. I think Houston's future is way better than the Lakers.
We're not arguing that their future isn't better, but right now,
I'm just
Yeah, right now,
they
bro.
barely made the
Bro,
postseason.
they lost. Bro, both teams lost. What's the difference?
Okay, let's put it like this: 7-game series, Lakers Rockets. Who you taking?
Lakers.
Right now?
Yeah,
The
7-game
Lakers.
series.
I'll take the Lakers.
Okay. Okay,
You
so
tell me next year I'm taking the Rockets.
With what superstar?
they don't have a legit superstar.
Hey, it's the off season for them. It's over.
So who are they gonna get? Who are they gonna
I
get?
said get
Okay,
Giannis.
okay,
Giannis
okay.
and KD.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
A hypothetical.
It's not gonna
if
happen.
they have if this is the same roster next year, who are you taking
Wait, what?
between the Houston and the LA team?
Well, it depends on the moves.
I just said it's the same exact teams. Pay attention.
Man, you hard pressed today, bro.
Because you're putting them up here when the Lakers, you're putting them down here.
Same exact team next season. Houston.
You're banned from talking the rest of this episode.
That was
Anyways,
that was fuck. That was just
Let's just talk about the other series before I literally pass out. The Rockets lost. Big surprise.
jerk off to the Rockets. Why don't you, man?
I don't know why you guys just hating, bro.
I'm not hating, man. I just don't understand
this
your
dude
logic.
get hard pressed like orange juice, bro. This dude get hard pressed. Come on, OJ.
I just don't understand.
Come on,
I just
OJ.
don't understand your logic, man. I just
OJ,
don't.
we all good out here, bro. We all good. Come on.
I just don't understand his logic. I just don't. I don't.
You don't have to understand. It's my logic.
Houston's better than the Lakers.
Unreasonable logic.
I
They
just,
won more games.
I don't.
They won
That
more
doesn't
games.
matter.
I don't get it.
They won more games.
I don't get
That
it.
won
doesn't
more
matter.
games.
Do you remember a few years ago
They
the Heat
won more
were?
games.
Regular season's different from the postseason.
You know who won more games
We're
last
talking about
season?
the playoffs.
You know who won more games last season? The OKC Thunder. Who they get booted out by? Dallas Mavericks. Don't matter how many games you win. It's all about playoff experience. Don't freaking wave your hand at me.
Bro, all I'm saying, Houston got more wins in the playoffs than the Lakers this year. Answer that. Yes
All right.
or no?
So-
Okay.
all right.
Yep.
The Suns had a decent amount of wins last year, right? And they faced the Timberwolves. Who was the lower seed?
The Wolves. No, the Suns. Okay, and
Okay, then.
all right, but I don't understand how that ties into the Rockets talk. You guys get hard pressed. We got OJ out here being hard pressed, bro. I'll get you a glass of OJ. Come on, Isaac. Come on, big Escope. Come on, bro.
Anyways, can't even look at Bennie right now. The Pacers beat the Cleveland Cavaliers today without Darius Garland, but it was a close game, so not really much of an overreaction.
Yeah, there's no really overreaction. I mean, it's just game one. I mean, they didn't have Darius Garland. Lose by 9 points. You're fine.
I mean, look, like you guys are so concerned about it. I'd be definitely concerned about the Isaac's out here just can't even look.
Stick to the subject, please.
Anyway, look, I know it's game one. I wouldn't read much into it, but knowing Indiana, they can be streaky. I wouldn't be surprised if they steal another one.
And then let's preview probably the unfortunate matchup of the New York Knicks versus the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, well, I would not be surprised if New York stole one in Boston. I would not be surprised because look, regular season is different from the playoffs.
Mikal Bridges, you gotta calm down. We're built for this. I'm like, you guys gotta chillax with the statements, man.
Hey, you guys beat the Pistons. Relax. You guys
Who
beat the
are a
Pistons.
young team, and you guys are supposed to be the veterans.
You guys were supposed to beat the Pistons. Yeah, I agree. I think Boston will lose one game at home to the Knicks. But what's going to really hurt the Knicks this series is the fact that every time they get Cat on that high pick and roll, he gets destroyed.
He can't play physical.
It doesn't matter the center.
Destroyed.
It doesn't matter the center.
So in this series, I'm going to see Boston really go out there and attack Cat right from the get-go.
They're gonna lock down Jalen Brunson, and they'll let everyone else shoot the ball.
Yeah, at this rate, because it's like because we all know this, Tibbs is going to run his players into the ground. I've been saying this. So by the time game 2 or game 3 rolls around, they're playing 46, 47 minutes. It's like, well,
play with some sort of bench.
Play with the bench at least. You know what I mean?
I mean, what we all got the what? I got Celtics in 5.
I'll say gentlemen sweep, but I wouldn't be surprised if New York stole 2. So I say Celtics in 6.
I'm taking Celtics in 6.
Yeah, I really think.
I mean, that was a nice preview. Now, I was wrong. The Clippers lost, so they're not going to the finals. So that short's gonna age like
that was
badly.
Yeah, that's gonna age real bad.
Let's preview it. OKC versus Denver. Do they have the firepower to stop OKC? Does Denver have a chance?
Absolutely.
They have the firepower.
Absolutely.
Who the hell's the firepower?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Who the hell's the firepower?
Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray.
I was gonna say you better not put Michael Porter Jr. in those top 3.
And MPJ, because I think
Christian Brown before
Christian
MPJ.
Brown. But see, no, in all realist, in being real, like MPJ needs to have a decent enough series for the Nuggets to win. Decent. He doesn't need to be dropping like 20 points a game. If he does, that's great. But he needs to have a decent series.
Like 15.
Yeah, I think it's going to hinge on Jamal Murray showing up, because we all know he's been a little inconsistent in the playoffs. Christian Brown's got to show up. Westbrook, man, you can't forget about this dude. He came in with that energy. Against the Clippers.
But can he keep that 3-point shooting hot streak up?
I doubt it. I honestly doubt it. If he gets hot, you'll live with him making 2 or 3 threes a game. You'll live with that.
I'll go ahead, Isaac.
No, go ahead, Bobby, sir.
No, I'm gonna say the Nuggets gonna win this series.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nuggets.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets gonna win this series.
I got OKC in 7.
You said I say it's like 6 or 7 games.
This is gonna be a 7-game series, but I'm gonna take the Nuggets.
I'll say Nuggets.
And the reason why I'm gonna take the Nuggets winning this series is because I think this series is gonna be the Thunder's real test. Because the Denver Nuggets, they've won a championship.
You're pretty much
they're battle tested.
It's MVP against MVP,
literally MVP versus MVP, and it's experience versus experience.
I see. Yeah,
and those late game situations. How are the Thunder going to perform?
And see, Bobby, we talked about this the other day.
Nuggets have done that. Nuggets have been through many games. They won a chip. They know what it takes to win. So
even Joker, he swatted away a shot from Zubac in Game 7.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So I think this series is going to go a full 7 games, but I'm going to take the Nuggets because I think their experience is what's going to take them over the edge. Yeah, and I think this series for the Thunder, if they lose, is going to really mold them into next season.
Or they might have OKC panic and trade for someone.
Yeah,
could be.
I mean, honestly,
if you were OKC, who would you trade if you panicked?
In a panic move?
In a panic move.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, I would go on Jalen Williams in a panic move.
J-Dub,
I doubt that'll happen. But no, I definitely agree. Like the experience is definitely going to show in this round 2. It's going to be interesting because I think Jokic, this will determine our MVP. We talked about it last night. This is going to determine the MVP. Whoever wins this series is going to win the MVP. Yep. And I think, my opinion, the Nuggets have what it takes. It's 6 or 7. I'm leaning towards 6 because I just trust more of that experience with Denver. They know what they have the grit. They have the toughness. They have Russell Westbrook. They have that oomph, that energy that they need. Not saying the Thunder don't have it, but again, you guys said it, just the experience is just not there for them, And, I think they're going to have their growing pains. They're going to learn the hard way. But, if they do lose this series, on the rare chance they do, but I doubt because I also mean thinks they're going to win. I would say that this team would be. I would consider this team a regular season team. If they can't get it out the second round, because they didn't get out the second round last year, so if they can't get it out this year, I really think they're just a regular season team, and I wouldn't even be worried about them. That's just my opinion.
What do you think, Isaac?
There'll be some changes, minor changes, like more scoring maybe, kind of like trade Caruso maybe. But
I don't think they would do that.
So, but you mentioned that you are going to take the Thunder in this series.
I think OKC just has too much firepower if they show up, if everyone shows up. But Chet Holmgren is going to be the X factor. He has to show up and be consistent.
I would agree. Yeah.
Even Hardenstein,
But also too, it's gonna solidify with J-Dub if he's that dude. You know what I mean? Because he's got to step up to the plate. Because they got a cakewalk with Memphis. It's not gonna be easy against the bow tested Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last series we're gonna preview what Warriors and Timberwolves.
Warriors and T-Wolves. Yeah.
I'm taking the Warriors in 6.
I'm gonna take the Wolves in 7.
Taking the Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7. Yeah.
Wolves are coming out the West and going to the NBA Finals.
And the reason why I'm taking the Wolves is because, just similar to what Isaac said about OKC, I think the Wolves have enough firepower off that bench. If I look at Golden State, yeah, Buddy Hield scored 22 points last night. Yeah, tonight he had a great game tonight.
Yeah, but the next game he could put up 6.
Exactly. Is it going to be consistent enough for me to be like, okay, Buddy Hield, I trust the Warriors bench. I trust the Wolves bench more than the Warriors bench. That's why I'm taking the Wolves.
Another thing is, can you trust Draymond? Because he has a history with the
Rudy
Timberwolves
Gobert.
players, and especially Rudy Gobert.
Be a physical series. It's gonna be a physical series.
I mean, but I got the Timberwolves coming out the West. They are going to the NBA Finals to face Boston.
Yeah,
I think for me personally,
I agree. I agree.
I say the Nuggets coming out the West. But like this
Ant-Man owns them.
But I was gonna say,
if Julius Randle and Gobert play like the way they're playing, Julius Randle, shout out to him. He's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm gonna say is the Warriors are gonna be physical. We already know that. Draymond's gonna be physical.
Ooh.
Gary Payton's gonna be physical. Look, face it. When you get deep into the playoffs, you gotta have somebody. You got one of those stoppers. I think this series is gonna be predicated on physicality. And if you ask me, who's the more physical team, I would take the Warriors.
Yeah.
And they're the more battle tested, well-oiled team. I think they could come out of here, in 6 games, 6 or 7 games. That's my ceiling.
The X factor for the Timberwolves is obviously going to be Anthony Edwards, because we've seen it from last year. He forced nothing in this series against the Lakers. He was not forcing any bad shots or anything.
Really? So
he was passing the ball like no one's business and getting his team involved.
So
the last game, he only had 15 points. He was 6 of 19, and they still won. He's maturing before our eyes. He is a superstar.
So you say Anthony Edwards is the X factor? I'm gonna go a different route. I think the X factor is gonna be Julius Randle.
That's what I was literally gonna say too.
I think Julius Randle. Because if Julius Randle can have a series he played against the Lakers where he hit 3 threes or 4 threes in a game, if he can have that type of consistency in the series, stretch out the floor. I mean, damn. I really think that the Wolves are They could give a Nuggets a run for them. The Warriors?
The Warriors' X factor is Jonathan Kuminga. He's just sitting on the damn bench.
I don't know if it's Kuminga, man. Hey, dude, at this rate, it's a crime. No,
the X factor for the Warriors is gonna be their bench.
Yes, I was gonna say it's their bench.
Kuminga, he's the only reliable bench piece in my opinion, along with I'd rather take Kuminga over Buddy Hield.
I mean, look, I agree with you guys. Look, the X factor for me. It's gonna definitely hinge on Draymond, because he has to be under control of his emotions. He has to, because if the Warriors want any sort of semblance of making a run to the finals, they need Draymond, and Draymond has to be able to contain his emotions throughout the game.
For the Wolves, I apologize. The X factor, in my opinion, will be Naz Reid.
You say I say Julius Randle.
Naz Reid coming off that bench. Julius Randle, he's gonna get physical. He's gonna tire Draymond. Who the heck can guard Julius Randle on the Warriors?
Not many people.
Maybe Draymond. That's it,
and that'll be it. But they're gonna just switch. He's just gonna bully his way there.
And another
Jimmy Butler.
Draymond.
You can't forget about Jimmy Butler.
As much as I love Jimmy Butler, he's not much of a shooter.
Well, yeah, but I mean, dude, there's playoff Jimmy and there's no shooting Jimmy.
Yeah, but there's no playoff Jimmy with a bruised tailbone and everything.
Another point that I want to make is the Wolves' size. The Wolves' size is going to be a hindrance to the Warriors.
They're not that big.
Yeah,
Let's
but
be honest.
The Warriors are going to get creamed on the
And
perimeter.
at that point, it's like it comes down to, obviously, I would not be surprised if I see Kevon Looney's minutes go down, or not Kevon Looney.
Quentin Post.
Quentin Post.
No,
I
need to play
him
Quentin
because
Post.
he's a stretch big.
I need to play
I
Quentin
don't
Post.
trust Steve Kerr's rotations at this point if he's not playing Kuminga.
My thing is you need some sort of stretch big out there. You keep him and Draymond out there.
That way you keep Rudy Gobert out the paint.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised if Kerr matches Post minutes with Gobert's minutes, because at the 5, right? I mean, yes, it's Kevon Looney. I mean, Kevon Looney and Rudy Gobert match up pretty decently.
I mean, they could counteract that by playing Reed at the 4. Gobert can stay in the paint. He can stretch out to the perimeter.
But then, like I said, you have Draymond Green, who's physical enough to guard
Naz Reid.
Yeah,
but he doesn't need to score the ball. He can pass it into Gobert because he's going to be the tallest to guard Gobert.
But then if you put Looney or Post out there, you know what I mean?
Looney.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, we don't want to follow the same recipe the Lakers did.
Okay, come on, man. That's a low blow.
I'm just saying. Game 5. Game 5. When, you should have played your center. That's my point.
Steve Kerr
That's
does do the same tendencies as JJ Redick. Let's be honest. Not play players that can actually help.
Yeah. This is gonna be an interesting series, but I think the size of the Wolves is gonna get to the Warriors.
The Wolves are going to the NBA Finals this year.
Wolves
That's
just have a
bold.
bunch
That's
of
bold.
active defenders.
I would agree. Yeah, we forgot about Jay McDaniels. I forget about
He's
that.
That's what I'm
unsung
saying.
hero, but you look at
Active
Ant-Man, the perfect leader for that team.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that. So, are we forecasting? I know we're future tripping right now, but are we forecasting the Wolves and Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Barring any injuries, I'm going to say the Wolves and the Thunder.
Yeah, barring any
Wolves,
injuries.
Thunder.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Their toughest matchup this season, failed to mention this, was the the Timberwolves.
Yeah, because they had that big
Thunder,
They
right?
didn't have that big lead in the fourth
Yep.
quarter. It
And
was
then
like
the
7
Timberwolves
minutes
came
left.
back.
Yeah.
Without Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. He fouled out, I think, in the last few minutes of the game. Yeah, whatever.
But they still won, so don't sleep on the Wolves because then they'll come back and bite you.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, so here's where I'm going with, so that way I hear where you guys are going. Wolves, Warriors, I'm going Wolves in 7. I said 6, but I'm going to go 7.
Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7. Isaac, who you got?
Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7.
So we're all in unison right there. Wolves in 7. Who else do we have here?
We got the Thunder and the Nuggets.
Thunder, Nuggets. Oh, wait.
Nuggets in 7.
Yeah.
Thunder in 7.
Yeah, Thunder in 7.
Then we got
not Thunder, Nuggets in 7.
We got Boston and then New York. I wonder who's going to win that.
Celtics in 6.
Boston in 5.
Boston in 5, but I wouldn't be surprised in 6.
Cleveland, if Darius Garland comes back.
Cleveland in 6.
Cleveland in
5.
6. Cleveland in 6.
No Darius Garland. Indiana in 7.
No, even without
Indiana in 6.
I don't see this going to a 7-game series. I
No.
really don't. I think the Cavs are going to get it done.
How many? So I know we did. I don't want to talk too much about it, but do you think the Cavs will choke? Yes or no?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because they can easily destroy Indiana.
I guess. Oh yeah, they could. I mean, I feel like it's one of those nights, but I think that on the rare chance, I think Indiana could beat them. Rare chance.
They could.
Yeah, I would not be surprised because we all know
But
they did
it's
Boston last year.
Only if the shots are falling.
Yeah, that's true because Indiana shot lights out from the field in their win today. So that's going to be important. Indiana has a pretty decent bench.
My thing with Indiana is, I mean, as I've alluded to all season, they're an offensive-minded team.
There's no defense.
Where's the
I agree.
defense? Where's the defense? Cleveland's got that offense and they got defense. So, I mean, you can say Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith. Okay, great. Yeah, they play defense.
That's only 2 players.
But
There's more than 2
what about
players.
the perimeter? What about the perimeter? Who's your best perimeter defender?
Benedict Mathen, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Literally all offense,
Yep.
very little defense.
Yeah, it's Andrew Nemhard. No disrespect, but he's too small of a guard. But he can, he's a hell of an offensive player. Tyrese Halliburton is defensively challenged.
So
yeah.
So that's why I'm taking the Cavs in 6.
Any closing thoughts?
Nah, man. I mean, guys, I think this is probably the best round of playoffs. This is really.
I think the
second
West.
No, I know the West is definitely
The
better.
West
I'm
is
not even
better,
gonna
but
deny
yeah, I
that.
agree.
But yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, like this is probably the second round is where it's at for me. That's just my opinion.
I'm more interested to see that Wolves and Nuggets series.
You mean
Wolves and
Warriors?
Wolves and Warriors.
I know I said Wolves. I was talking Wolves, but I originally meant to say Warriors. So that's my bad typo on that. I said Warriors in
Wolves
7.
and Warriors. That's the series I'm into.
Yeah, Warriors in 7.
Sorry, Bobby, I have to say this. I thought this was funny. Ant-Man, Batman, Superman, Lakers in 5.
Isaac had to close out with that.
I can't even be mad at that. I really can't.
Any closing thoughts, fellas?
No, but we just want to thank you guys for always listening to us. Remember to follow us on TikTok, Spotify, YouTube. Please continue to show us that love and support. We do appreciate it.
And please don't fall for all the ESPN and Fox Sports overreactions. Please come to us.
Yeah.
We'll actually look at things and not overreact like, "Ooh."
If you want this authenticity and humor, come listen to the Dummies on the Hardwood. With that being said,
and cringe, just to add that.
And Charles Barkley.
cringe. I like that. Charles Barkley. Hashtag vote for what nickname you would give me. Cringe or Charles Barkley?
Cringe Charles.
Charles Cringe.
That actually
With that, good night.
You have a
See you guys.
great night.